Stop.
Hello. Please, come on back. Chase, how's everything going? Okay. Laura, how are you?
Fine. And you?
Oh, having some trouble at home. Me and the missus were, petty arguments. But we make room for each other. Anyway, something happened at wrestling practice. So how's it going for you, by the way?
Good. Coach says I've shown real progress.
He's a natural. I'm really proud of him.
Yeah, physical exercise helps ease the mind, huh?
Now when your dad shows up.
Him.
Yeah, the milkman.
He calls Jared the milkman because
Because he's a bastard.
Because he left 2 years ago.
So, all of freshman year.
He should have stayed gone.
Chase.
What?
You're more like him than you know.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're both stubborn and disagreeable.
Oh, okay. Are we playing Family Feud? I'd rather play Let's Make a Deal. Chase, do you love your mom? And Laura, do you love Chase? Excellent. So, why don't we love Jared?
Because he's an asshole.
Okay, pause right there. I'm going to start with Chase first, but when you're finished, you have to agree to listen to what your mother has to say. Okay? Go ahead.
Whatever. He's an asshole. He shows up to wrestling practice like he's proud of me. After 2 years, he shows up out of nowhere and tries to talk to me like nothing's changed. After 2 years, I'm left with being hit in the face. I watched him punch a hole in the wall, and now he comes back? I had a bruise on my face, so I didn't go to school for a week. I had to lie to my friends about why I was gone. 2 years. It's like he's retarded.
Wow.
Chase, I'm going to come back to that in just a moment, but I do want to hear what your mom has to say.
Hold on.
I love this. I don't feel the need to hold back at all, so I'm not going to. You're impossible! I work 15-hour shifts to live where we do. I feed you, I pay for baseball, I pay for wrestling. And when I come home from stitching up the wounds of ungrateful patients, I get to see my ungrateful son. I ask how he's doing and my brat says, good, and he marches off to his room like I'm bothering him. It's ridiculous. Your coach calls me on my lunch break and tells me that my son isn't getting along with anyone on the team. So I wonder why I'm even sacrificing for your sports to begin with. Jared is the reason half our bills are paid. He sends what he can so I don't have to work 20-hour shifts. Because he cares, we can now buy groceries. The food in your mouth is a product of a loving father. Gosh, also, Jared hasn't been gone for 2 years. Chase just won't let him in. All the important dates, Christmas, New Year's, his birthday. Jared has been as open and discreet as possible. Chase just won't have any of it. If you could just open up and talk about this shit, we could figure out why all your relationships are failing.
So all this time, he's been waiting for Chase to open up.
Yes.
I'm gonna change my last name to Smith.
That's not funny.
I'm changing my name so I don't have to associate with him.
God, you're such a brute.
Don't forget I'm also ungrateful.
Absolutely. Maybe changing your name is a good thing. Then you don't have to associate with me either.
Fine. You still love him, right? You're just as bad.
I do. He's only ever been kind to me. He's been through more than you know.
Oh, bullshit.
Don't talk to me that way.
I'll say what I want. You defend him and he left us.
Your father loves you.
He never loved me. He left after he hit me.
He wants to build a family and support us.
You just want him back so you can feel safe.
He has a mental disorder.
Okay. Enough. From this point forward, we're not going to have any more shouting. Going forward, we're just going to listen to each other. Agreed?
He has a mental disorder?
Yeah. Intermittent explosive disorder.
That's relatively new.
His psychiatrist said that it's a personality issue that can't be fixed.
So only medication works.
One of the side effects is guilt. Tremendous guilt. Because when he has an episode, the outcome is usually a hole in the wall or damaged property. After this episode with Chase, I made sure he was okay. And then I called Jared to see what had happened. I was angry, but no one hurt worse than Jared. He was sobbing uncontrollably. When we started dating, he told me that sometimes he gets really mad and he can't describe it. But he said he would never take it out on me. And he kept that promise. So I stayed. I am really good at taking care of people, and I saw someone who needs me. I have full confidence that I need him too.
He left because of guilt?
Partly. We separated so he could come back healthy and strong. It took a year, but this last year has been hell. You weren't ready, and that feels selfish. We should have told you. But he has had an interest in you. It was his idea for you to pick up wrestling.
But Jared leaving must have felt like abandonment. You never told her, did you?
Tell me what?
Does Dad ever feel like it wasn't really him who did it? Like, does he...
He's asking if Jared has ever felt disassociated from his emotions after an episode. Has he ever felt like the episode was sort of out of his own body?
Yeah, he said that he doesn't feel like himself and that he's losing control, like he's detached.
So not so different.
What's not so different?
Mom? I have borderline personality disorder. I think really negative thoughts. I can't describe them well. But Dr. Seraphim says I need to call them out and speak truth over them. Some thoughts that come back a lot are, you're no good, or you really hurt that person. The one I hate the most is Dad left because he hates you. It also means I go off on tangents when I talk to myself, and once I snap back to reality, it's like I don't even know who that person is. I don't feel like he does. When I get this way, it's hard to feel like I'm capable of connecting with anyone.
His condition's mild. He doesn't require any medication. And up to this point, he's been beating it on his own. We were able to trace the condition to about 2 years ago. Onset for the condition can, stem from external stresses like a fight with a friend or a loved one. And it can also lead to feelings of abandonment. Chase, we've talked about anger. Anger is an opportunity for us to seek understanding, right? So what I'd like you to do is go ahead and close your eyes real quick and just take a deep breath and exhale slowly. And as you do that, you'll become more relaxed. Now I want you to pick an emotion, and I want you to visualize that emotion, picture it. What are your senses telling you?
The emotion I feel is hatred. I see the image of this guy on a hill. The sun shines behind him and he has his hands on his hips. Where he stands, everything is green and fresh. But moving down the hill, the grass is brown and the dirt is dark red. Like Sedona. And I'm sitting in it.
Now let's go into another room. And in that room, you can smell hatred. What does hatred smell like?
It smells like old garbage that hasn't been taken out. It's gross, and it's been sitting since Monday when the trash is supposed to be picked up Wednesday.
Now let's go a little further. What does hatred taste like?
Blood.
And if you could reach out and touch it, what does hatred feel like?
Feels cold. Like ice at -10 degrees.
And what does hatred sound like?
Sounds like an angry, scared person.
This is what you've been rattling off at night.
It's called the Museum of the Heart. It helps them to calm themselves and to really focus on the emotions in that moment, what they're feeling.
Can I share something, Chase? You are a good boy. I'm so sorry you're feeling this way.
Chase, this hatred, do you hate your father?
No. I'm not even mad that he hit me. Leaving hurts worse.
Forgiveness releases the person that's holding on to the hatred. Accepting Jared back into your life, that's ultimately your decision. But I can tell you that a father who's willing to work with you, it's very difficult to come by these days. But maybe this is an opportunity for all of you to heal together.